Now you begging to seduce, but beggars cannot be choosy. Been a queen for 8 summers, just tell them to call me Susie. This that Nicki, this that Uzi, this Hennessy got me woozy. Broke the internet in 5411s and some Gucci. The blue ribbon eating sushi, this that real good coochie. This that where this Chattahoochee, fuck all of y'all like a hoochie. Giving them bars since a teen, I ain't going back to juvie. I am Nicki, I'm a Gucci, cause I skate.
Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to go ahead and do this. Like, it's like a really orangey, fun, bright event. Like, I have the white liner going on. I just wanted to go ahead and come out to you guys with something fun, something you guys can like actually follow. This is not hard, it's just the blending part that's kind of tricky, but if you're interested in seeing how I create this look, you already know what to do. Keep watching.
Alright love, so the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is take my LA Girl concealer. This is shade Fawn. I'm going to go ahead and just tap this into my lid, make sure everything is smooth and I have a clean base, so when I put on my shade, it's good. So I'm taking this first shade right here from the Morphe 3503 palette. This is on an e.l.f. blending brush, and all I'm going to do is tap this into my lid. Tap, tap, tap using tapping motions, not blending this in because remember my base is still wet and you don't want to go ahead and try to blend in this in while your base is wet. So all you're going to go ahead and do is just basically tap in where you normally would cut your crease, but a little bit higher. So when it's time to cut your crease, you won't have any problem and it's showing. Alright, jumping right back into the palette, I'm taking this really pink fuchsia shade and I'm taking this on a different brush. This is a more flat blending brush and I'm tapping this above that shade just so it could blend in smoothest and I can get more of a diffuse shade, so once it's time to put on my next shade, it blends in also. So the purpose of me placing these shade on top but still blending it towards that previous shade is to make sure everything blends in. And as you can see, I do go back and forth with all my brushes just so it looks blend in. That's the key. The key is just basically taking your time to make sure everything blends in. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is take this pastel orange. It's not really pastel, but like when you swatch on your hand, it's like more of a really vibrant neon orange. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is pat this above the fuchsia shade. Then I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. I keep saying blending and patting because that's only two motions I'm using when it comes to the shadows. I like to really pat until I get the pigmentation of that shade first, then be sure to blend it out, because when you're using this method you kind of tend to lose the colors that you put previously. So that's why I say to always go back into your shades, always go back into your palette and get that pigmentation you want from that shadow. So as you guys can see, I am going back into the palette, blending it in, going back to the other shade, blending it in. And these are all different brushes. Ladies, whenever you're using vibrant colors or anything in that particular, use different brushes. That's what I like to do. Unless it's that similar shade, then okay, you can go ahead and use that same particular brush. Okay, so it's now time to cut my crease. And I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease using the same base that I used from the beginning, and I'm just gonna go ahead and create a regular schmeckler cut crease, nothing special. And just make sure when you're cutting your crease that you make sure everything is seamless and flat and no clumps or lumps, because once it's time to place your shimmer shade, it won't have any trouble. So now I'm going to go ahead and take these two shades. This is like a fuchsia and orange shade from the same eyeshadows that I was kind of using for the crease. And all I'm going to go ahead and do is place the fuchsia shade first on the outer part of my cut crease. Then I'm taking that orange shade and I'm placing it towards the middle of the cut crease. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is take that fuchsia shade again, and I'm going to go ahead and blend out the outer part of my cut crease. You don't want your cut crease to look like it's noticeable that you actually cut it. You want it to make it look seamless and blend in. Now I'm taking this glitter gold shadow, and I'm placing this in the inner corner of my eyes. Ladies, also to leave space in the inner corner of your eyes because you want this to pop and top notch everything, you know. But I'm feeling this good, okay? Then lastly, for the eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and take these two NYX liner. This is the white and black viney liner. You can get this at Walmart, Walgreens, you name it, Ulta. And I'm just gonna simply create a liner. You guys will see me struggling because I have minks on. Word to advice, if you guys are going to create this look, please don't have no minks on. Just saving you the trouble, okay? Because as you guys can see, I was literally struggling for my life. But you can't really see it, but because I fast forward the video, but I was struggling, but I pulled through and I had to make it work. Your girl had to make it work. Alright, so once you have the desired wing liner you like, you can go ahead and go back into your concealer, the ones that's closest to your shade foundation. And I'm just going to go ahead and clean up the wing liner just to make sure it's precise and sharp, you know, everything's slaying. But now I'm going to go ahead and do my face. I'm going to fast forward through this and not explain this. But if you guys want to see a drugstore related video to my foundation right now, you can go ahead and check it out. It's going to break down everything you need to know how to create a flawless 100% to the T drugstore routine, okay? So go ahead and check it out. I'll see you guys at the end of the video. Alright, love, so we're jumping right back into the eyes, finally finalizing everything. I'm just going to go ahead and take my Mayo stackable pigment, and this is in the shade orange. What I'm going to go ahead and do is just tap this on a lower lash line. I'm tapping because I want this to be pigment even though they're already pigment, but just tapping this in so once it's time to place the other shades, it doesn't lose that fade. But I'm taking the fuchsia shade and that plump shade just to tap that also at the lower bottom of the lash line, not taking it too high to the point it's taking away that orange, but just tapping it in just to blend it in. But be sure to always have something in the lower lash line. I feel like it doesn't complete the look if you don't. But I'm taking mascara, and girl, checka boom, checka bam, we finalize and we sling, okay? Alright, so for the last step, the very last step, I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with the Wet n Wild brown liner. And I'm taking my NYX Sugar Mama Viney lip gloss. Nothing special, you guys already know I love my nude. But for highlight, I use the Contour Black Radiance Contour Palette, that highlight shade in there. I like it for my more melanie queens, but for me, whew, I felt like it was a little bit too bronzy on me. But let me know how y'all fin this look, loves.
Alright, so guys, this is the end of the look. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial of me creating this vibrant eye. But if you guys did like it, don't forget to give a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell notification because you're gonna miss out on every slate I put out. Okay, if you stay to the end of the video, you're one. Thank you so much for being supportive and watching to the end of this video. But it's your girl Kay, and I'm checking out.
These red roses damn they turn to ashes. If I keep it real, you won't understand it. these dirty blogs got you mad, damn it. I walk 1,000,000 miles to see you happy.
I hope she don't think that I think that she's some kind of hoe, some kind of hoe. I don't care, that just lets me know that